Hunger and fear are excellent causes. Hope is brightest when it dawns from fears. War is the only game in which both sides lose. We are like the herb which flourisheth most when trampled upon. Revenge, the sweetest morsel to the mouth that ever was cooked in hell. A sound head, an honest heart, and a humble spirit are the three best guides through time and to eternity. Those who are not afraid of death are capable of anything. It happens that a bad tree produces good fruit, and bad times give rise to more than just evil. Moments of grave danger often coincide with moments of heartfelt frankness. All men who have turned out worth anything have had the chief hand in their own education. There is no better antidote against entertaining too high an opinion of others than having an excellent one of ourselves at the very same time. A true knight is a lamb in the company of ladies and a lion during a fight. He that climbs a ladder must begin at the first round. Gold killed more souls than iron killed bodies. No word of commiseration can make a burden feel one feather's weight lighter to the slave who must carry it. Judgment is always done very quickly if the judge decides beforehand. The closer to the church, the farther from the Lord God. We sculpt our idols out of snow and cry when they melt. Crystal and hearts would lose all their merit in the world if it were not for their fragility. He is not fit to visit strange countries, who cannot rule his tongue before his own countrymen. Don't be wasteful, and you won't need much. A fool's wild speech confounds the wise. When we remember friends who are no longer alive, we feel doubly alone. Simplicity may be improved, but pride and conceit never. The spectacle of victory is even more terrible than the spectacle of battle. Without courage, there cannot be truth, and without truth, there can be no other virtue. The willow which bends to the tempest often escapes better than the oak which resists it. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Recollect that the Almighty, who gave the dog to be companion of our pleasures and our toils, hath invested him with a nature noble and incapable of deceit. Need teaches everything. Need is the mother of courage. We shall never learn to feel and respect our real calling and destiny unless we have taught ourselves to consider everything as moonshine compared with the education of the heart. Subtle politics often puts on the guise of the greatest innocence, just as sometimes real courage is hidden under the most modest appearance. Ignorance. Ignorance and superstition are the only true misfortunes. A rich man may have his quirks because he has the money to pay for them. Of all the vices, drunkenness is more incompatible with the greatness of the spirit than others. Love will subsist on wonderfully little hope, but not altogether without it. Success or failure in business is caused more by the mental attitude, even than by mental capacities. The trouble with those who write quickly is that they cannot write concisely. Praise be to the Lord God, who gave us the ability to laugh and make others laugh, and shame on a fool who despises the title of jester. Tears are the softening showers which cause the seed of heaven to spring up in the human heart. If people do not learn to help each other, then the human race will disappear from the face of the earth. Blessed be his name, who hath appointed the quiet night to follow the busy day, and the calm sleep to refresh the wearied limbs and to compose the troubled spirit. Even a king, in all the splendor of his power and glory, if he is blinded by ignorance and superstition, is less free than a sage who is chained in heavy chains and thrown into prison. Come he slow or come he fast, it is but death that comes at last. Authority comes from reason, not reason from authority. Any authority that is not recognized by reason is powerless. One or two of these scoundrel statesmen should be shot once a year, just to keep the others on their good behavior. The solidarity of people is an indestructible fortress. Look back and smile at the perils of the past. People often blame fate for what is a direct consequence of their own violent passions. The lovers of the chase say that the hare feels more agony during the pursuit of the greyhounds than when she is struggling in their fangs. The longer a person is single, the greater his desire to remain single. Whoever realizes his innocence, he reluctantly stoops to excuses. Teach your children poetry. It opens the mind, lends grace to wisdom, and makes the heroic virtues hereditary. Always keep quiet about your problems, otherwise you will lose all your friends. Trade has all the fascination of gambling without its moral guilt. Your soul is like a neglected garden belonging to a negligent owner. Weeds have grown in it and drowned out healthy sprouts. He that climbs the tall tree has one right to the fruit. He that leaps the wide gulf should prevail in his suit. Discretion is the perfection of reason, and a guide to us in all the duties of life. Love rules the court, the camp, the grove, and men below, and the saints above, for love is heaven, and heaven is love. How early can what we most despise and hate approach in an outward manner to that which we most venerate? As long as ambition and lust for power rule the hearts of some men, there will be no lasting peace on earth. War, unfortunately, is the human condition. Emotional agitation makes us forget about caution, and we discover such feelings that in a calmer time we would try to hide, if not able to completely suppress them. Peace is an inestimable jewel, but it will be soon snatched from those who are not prepared with heart and hand to defend it. Teach self-denial and make its practice pleasure, and you can create for the world a destiny more sublime than ever issued from the brain of the wildest dreamer. And that which is done of good will must be accepted favorably. There are a few more melancholy sensations than those with which we regard scenes of past pleasure when altered and deserted